Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushai Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the other apostles and other bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them. It's taught us this true. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers up pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. From the brother slash elder, shalom and salutations to you all. And the name of this lesson is The Spook That Came by the Camp. The spook who came by the camp. And I'll explain why. We'll start with the word spook and the definition. The definition of spook: a ghost, a spy, C.I.A. spook. These are the definitions of the word spook. A ghost, a spy, informal, North American, a C.I.A. spook. See that? Or slang for a Negro. I'm sure we could go in here and it means a nigga, right? Look at this. Slang. Originally and chiefly U.S., an undercover agent or a spy. Now, all right, and we all know that it's a byword for Judah. Anyway, so we'll go from there to something that I knew about long before I came into the truth, right? This movie, The Spook, right? Who, is it the spook who or the spook that? Who, what? What comes up? 73, the spook who sat by the door. Now, double entendre. There's that word spook. What does it mean in this film, in this title? Let's take a look at that. The spook, and this is required GMS in the truth, right? But I saw this, right? My brothers and I, like, shoot, it's in the 80s, really, when we saw this. And we used to refer to this movie by The Spook, right? Ah, The Spook. We're going to watch The Spook, right? So anyway, happened to be a brother, so if you know the story, the spook who sat by the door, right? So I'm doing a play, right? This word spook means this guy went to the CIA and learned all their tactics. And when he graduated, he left the CIA, went back home to the hood and taught all the hood brothers how, what he learned. And then they went out and used it on Whitey or whatever. That's what the film is about. But anyway, so the spook means he's in the CIA and he's black. And he sat by the door. Okay, so anyway, why all of this about a spook and why all of this about spying, right? Let's go back to what? This definition, because I'm setting it up, right? Bear with me. Look at this. All right, now what did I name this lesson? I named it The Spook Who Came by the Camp. Remember this? The spook who came by the camp. This GMS Tampa Bay 12. And I really like whoever put this together. What I really like about this little vignette, if you will, is how they're showing Tucker, and the music that they're playing is making him seem so innocent, right? I really like whoever put it together. The way this music, I'm going to play that, and then we'll get into what I saw earlier today about this spook. Why am I calling Tucker a spook? Well, it's not me, right? Because these Edomites are imploding upon each other, right, as we speak. And Satan is, warring against Satan, and it's all coming down. Anyway, take it away, Tucker, and this music. Let's check out the music. Note this should read, the spook who came by the camp. All right, watch.
Taking that chip, the Most High is going to make it a way for the elect not to take it. He's going to protect the elect. Because it's all about the elect. We've been telling you, brothers, since we came on YouTube, it's all about the elect. I know you from somewhere, right? You know, news, Carson. Yeah.
The spook came by the camp. Now I want to get this last piece. It's a very special part. That's where they shake hands. He shakes hands with Tucker, and I know it's in there because I made a video personally, and I made sure that I got the handshake.
Whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen. No man shall buy you. Now, the children of Israel were born as a nation in Egypt. There's no record of the Israelites or the children of Israel going back into Egypt, going into slavery again. So it's got to be talking about another Egypt. Even Revelation 11. Revelation 11 and 8. Revelation 11 and 8. And that their bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. Because this is referring to America. When you go,
so lucky. I'm trying to look for that.
An Edomite is a so-called white.
Right here.
So the only thing you can do is hope that you're an Israelite. Here's hoping.
Not one time did the elder apostle Tahar call Tucker an Edomite. Not one time. Got to understand, this dude was sent down here. And we're about to find out who this guy is.
Okay. All right, nice.
Boom. Okay. Look at this. Why is this happening? It's spiritual. The whole thing. We already know. I just wanted to go through it. Okay? Now, we go here. We go here. Let's watch a bit of this. Let's get a precept. Salah.
Here he is.
We'll get a precept. Bear with me. A little disheveled here. 1 Samuel 26 and 4. David therefore he did what? He sent out spies and understood that Saul was come in very deep. Okay, so the point is people were sending out spies on both sides. David was sending out spies. Right here we got Absalom. Where's Absalom? Sent out Absalom. 2 Samuel 15 and 10. Then Absalom, the other side, right, sent spies throughout the tribes of Israel. See that? This is what Tucker's doing. Then Absalom, somebody sent spies throughout the tribes of Israel with this message. When you hear the sound of the horn, you are to say Absalom reigns in Hebron. Now, not so much what he said, but I'm talking about the sending of spies. Okay? 2 Kings 6 and 13. So the king said, go and see where he is, that I may send men to capture him. These are examples of spies being sent. On receiving the report, Elisha is in Dothan. And on this information, we sent out a contingent, right, to go apprehend him. All right, Psalm 37 and 32. Though the wicked lie in wait for the righteous and seek to slay them, right, and it goes on. If they say, come along, let us lie in wait for blood. Let's go here. So lucky, let me get through this so-called commercial, and then we'll see what's going on with Tucker. Let me set it up because this is about Nick Fuentes and Tucker. What is it about? Being exposed, and we'll get into all things being revealed, Lord willing. 2 hours ago, We Are Changed, Luke Radowski, who the elder apostle Tahar, let me know, right, on spiritual knowledge that this dude is a plant himself. Anyway, he's exposing who? Tucker and Nick, because they're in some sort of fight. So let's watch a good bit of this and find out who came down to the camp. Exposed as what? A fan? Wait a minute. Why did Tucker just saunter on down to the camp, and what really happened? So let's go into it.
This was a very interesting exchange.
Nick Fuentes, this child, this weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago.
As the response?
And you know what? Here's the other thing. Tucker Carlson said I'm a weird gay kid in the basement. Yeah, and I'm from Chicago. You're right.
Hey, what in the world is going on here? As two of the world's biggest anti-establishment figures are fighting each other, both accusing each other of being feds. This, as the drama and controversy is definitely building online, as I am seeing a lot of very peculiar things about these individuals being brought up, as I wanted to lay out some of the evidence, some of the arguments, some of the conversations that are happening right now, and then kind of ask you guys, after seeing everything, what do you think is really going on here? As you kind of have to wonder, yeah, there's probably infiltration, yeah, there's probably bad undercover players here, but is it really the two most kind of anti-establishment people now?
Let me stop to say this. What's going on at the highest level? Not just, see, whatever's going on with this little feud and, hey, he's a spy. No, he's a spy. Well, guess what? Epstein was a spy. Here's why they don't want the Epstein files to come out. It's not about Donald Trump and whatever he was doing as far as trafficking and all the shit that he was involved in. It's about not letting the fact that it was an Israeli C.I.A. spy honeypot trap that went way above the prostitution or that level, right, of left-handed magic, sex magic, whatever was going on. It was about the military. Being able to control the military, control nations, control presidents, have control through blackmail and things of that sort. And it goes straight where? To spies, spooks, and things of that sort now carry.
Kind of wonder here, especially after reading 1984 and Orwell about, well, maybe. We're going to go over everything, and if you appreciate these types of videos, subscribe, click the notification button. We always greatly appreciate all the time that we get to spend together. As, of course, Nick responded and laughed right after saying this, just to be...
If you haven't exercised in years, you have to start small with muscle.
Salak, I'm sorry. I'm ready to blame audio on him. It's on me, Salak.
To him, but there's this clip just going around social media. He then laughed at himself for making this statement. As I am seeing this attack, and again, I think it for the people that have been criticized by Nick and Tucker, I think this is why we're going to be seeing a lot about this, and this is why this is going to be in our algorithm, and it's very convenient that there's what some people would describe this kind of self-destructive nature to the right that always keeps kind of sabotaging each other. The right.
Now, this is Esau coming at each other for real. Okay? You got to understand. And it's a deflection from the very top, but it's the same thing. These guys are coming at each other. They're coming at Trump. Trump's draws is out there hanging, right? They got to hang Trump out to dry so that they don't go above that, which is what they're really trying to hide. And now they're trying to distract your attention from Trump by going lower to Tucker. Tucker's a spy, or whoever this Nick Fuentes guy is.
The right, I think, perfectly is represented by sabotage. The left...
So they're destroying each other.
I mean, overwhelmingly dysfunctional, but they do cohesively work together as a group pretty conveniently, comparatively to the infighting and to the drama that usually is resorted to the right here. Now, the right.
And I'm asking to bear with this. It goes on and it drones for a while, but then you'll understand what's going on as far as the spook aspect of what's going on.
Individually based. The right cares more about the individual rather than the group, and of course those type of preferences do spread out through other type of behaviors. Now, again, lots of people right now saying Tucker Carlson's a glowy. No, Nick's a glowy. This is what Tucker Carlson had to say about Nick Fuentes. I think it's fair to hear him out and then hear out Nick's rebuttal, and then we'll go over through all the kind of circumstantial evidence that people are bringing up, as David Icke had some very interesting comments to say about all this as well.
Wow.
Here's what Tucker had to say on his show with Candace Owens that started all this.
The only reason I know who he is because someone sent me a video a few years ago of him attacking me, and I was like, so I'm looking at this, and I'm like, well, first of all, this kid's really talented, like legit, and I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So it's like, wow, lots of talent, native talent. And he's attacking my dad as a CIA, his dad's from the CIA or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's no, untrue. And my father dies, and I learn, actually, was involved in that world.
Now, there's some contention to that particular statement that a lot of people are bringing up here that we're going to play in a little bit here. But you could see that it got personal. And Tucker didn't take it well. Obviously, we have seen Nick get kind of very personal, especially with Candace, about them allegedly being in love. You could see that Tucker's relationship with his father was something that was probably really important to him, and then having Nick Fuentes kind of bring it up kind of brought up this moment. As of course, this is not the first time that the two kind of exchanged jabs here, as some people are making the argument that there could be psychological evaluations being done with all the data that's being collected on everyone, and then being like, okay, if you attack this person on this, and I kind of sense that, especially there's a lot of inner stuff here with other kind of personalities, and I see how they're kind of attacking them. Like, that's a very like directed, personal kind of attack to kind of go after them with that. If you're gonna know everything about them, that's exactly how you do it. You know,
this is high IQ attacking and tearing each other down.
But I mean. I'll delve into that in a little bit.
I was completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but that's just a fact.
Right.
This was in March of this year. And I'm like, well, how the hell would this child from Chicago?
Slovakia, bear with me. We have to watch them flesh this out. Okay? I'm going to let the fight happen.
My dad was 84 when he passed. This is kind of what my dad is, and like he's in intelligence. How would he know that?
Wait, so that was his critique of you because I didn't see it?
Yeah, someone just sent me this video, and it was like, you can't believe anything Carlson says because his father was in the CIA, and he's a CIA, working on behalf of the CIA. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and I actually feel emotional in my anger towards CIA. And I think that comes out on the air quite regularly.
Right.
Let me say this, okay? Just like Yahushai's dad was a carpenter, Yahushai was a carpenter. And let me say this. My dad is in entertainment, right? And I couldn't wait to follow in my dad's footsteps. So what was Carlson's dad doing?
The idea that I'm working for the CIA is like deranged.
Well, if it helps, he said I was...
Hold on. Let me back that up just to see here or there. Take it.
And so the idea that I'm working for the CIA is like deranged.
Well, if it helps, he said I'm funded by Russia now. Since the interview, he then did a thing and said I was funded by Russia.
But you would be a lot more likely to take Russian money than I would be to work for the CIA. You would never take Russian money, and you're not Russian. But I mean, I really hate the CIA. And I mean, I mean, that's like very offensive to me. So why would you?
It's personal for you.
Well,
yeah, very personal. It's like they have a psychological program to know what triggers them and angers them. But there's some other things with Tucker and Nicaragua, the comments that Vladimir Putin made.
Two things. Tucker going to be a freedom fighter in Nicaragua and push an American, like the dude that went down to, North Sentinel Island to go push the Bible on them North Sentinelese and got dealt with. That's what Tucker was basically does, like a missionary. Okay, when he was younger, and then right, he mentioned what else on the top of that? Slovakia.
With Tucker and Nicaragua, the comments that Vladimir Putin made.
What comments did Vladimir Putin make? All right, and this is recent on that interview that Tucker did with Vlad. Right, Vlad basically revealed Tucker, and nobody caught it.
And a lot of people are kind of dissecting all of this very carefully to attack Tucker Carlson. I have a very nuanced perspective on this. I actually know everyone involved a little bit.
You don't know the elder apostle Tahar. What do you know about that meeting that Tucker accepted from his higher-ups to go down and speak? You got to know about that. Then it's a spiritual matter that you know nothing about.
I don't know them too well, but I know everyone here a little bit, spent a little bit of time with everyone involved here, and I'll give you my assessments. Before I do that, I wanted to touch.
Okay, he's finna hawk his shit, and I'm going to try to get to the meat of the matter. We'll go right here. Bear with me. We're going somewhere.
And Nick's rebuttal, I thought, was brilliant. I thought it was a very smart rebuttal. I'll tell you why.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, like, who is this kid exactly?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just an accident that the guy exclusively goes after people who are in the same.
Yeah. So the infighting there is kind of counterintuitive. I would say even engaging in it in response.
Why are they fighting? Why are they exposing each other as feds? Because one is on one side and one is on the other side of a fight going on in the GOP. Okay? And they're exposing each other for being feds. Okay? Now, Luke comes with some facts, but he also goes into what Nick Fuentes, his side of the story is. And I'm not so much concerned with Nick and who he works for, what he's doing, as opposed to Tucker, who came down to the camp. What's the name of this lesson? And I know it's droning on, but bear with me. The name of this is the spook who came down to the camp. Okay? So bear with. It's a lot. Trying to get that
Like, oh, he had a red armband. I'm like, okay. Like, I had a friend that gave me a red armband too. I used to wear armbands. I don't wear them anymore.
Slovakia.
Also, kind of interesting to see now on social media.
Maybe I have to get through some of this. Let me see. Tucker's mask slipped. Okay, I think it's right after.
I mean, he's guilty of anything at all here. But when it comes to, like, going through some real stuff, let's just be real with ourselves. When you have a crazy madman show up to your house trying to take your life, right? That's crazy. Like, I dealt with swattings. Pretty serious. Not as serious as a crazy person losing their lives.
Come on.
And do this personality attack and say I'm a bitter loser in my basement from Chicago. I'm a kid from Chicago.
And the powerful moment was...
God dang it, come on.
All of this that are far deeper than we can even kind of comprehend here. But I'm seeing on social media a lot of people bringing up the fact that Tucker Carlson was in Nicaragua. What was going on in Nicaragua? C.I.A. operations. Iran-Contra was going on here. Now, there's a clip here. There's other stuff that I think are absolutely disingenuous to attack Tucker Carlson on. There's people talking about, well, he believed in the war in Iraq. He attacked Pat Buchanan. Listen, Tucker Carlson of many years ago is different than he is now. Now, before playing the kind of CIA Nicaragua clip, there's like, oh, he had a red armband. I'm like, okay. Like, I had a friend that gave me a red armband too. I used to wear armbands. I don't.
Luke is an agent himself, as brought out by the elder apostle Jahar, expertly and spiritually brought out by the.
Them anymore. Does that make me a part of some kind of conspiracy? I don't think so. You know, he didn't believe in the alternative explanation of what happened on September 11th. I'm like, okay. Like, he was clearly a different person. He was working for CNN, right? He was working for MSNBC. He was working for the corporate media. He was one of them. And I think his change, I think his transition,
promotion,
being a pro-war type of neocon establishment elitist to where he is now, I think it's a legitimate turn. I think it's a legitimate transition that happened after someone kind of realized, holy cow, the whole system is based on lies and suffering off of other human beings. And I think he had a kind of moment of consciousness that has awoken him and that has essentially made him to be the number one news anchor in the world. Now, if he...
Tucker Carlson works for somebody. Somebody's directing him and telling him exactly what to do. He's not somebody with money, with a mind of his own, who's out crusading and fighting fires.
The Fed, if he was playing and participating with the Feds, I would say that he would still be the number one news anchor in America. He's not.
Luke knows that he's working for, because Luke is working for the Feds.
They fired him. They fired him because he wouldn't usurp Donald Trump. Who's they? Murdoch. Everyone's over it, but they, yeah, Murdoch. There's another thing where Sean Ryan says, "quote You are a lot more of an inside on the inside than I am." Yeah.
So we have to. What am I saying right here? Well, Tucker is being outed as being a CIA spook agent. Here's what I'm saying. I started with, hey, this guy came down to the camp all nonchalant with the sweet music and shit. But now, as of today, and for a minute here, this dude has been being smoked out as being the spook who came down to the camp. Okay, so I'm going to keep playing it because you got to see this.
There's a lot of sources within the Trump administration. He has a lot of friends within the Trump administration, and I think that's what he meant here. Does that mean he's a Fed? No. I think if, strategically, I don't think Tucker Carlson is a Fed here.
We're going to keep playing this because this info is solid, and it's up to date, it's new, it's fresh.
To be quite honest. But there are a couple weird things, and I'm a little bit perplexed by, especially when it comes to the Kevin Spacey interview.
Yeah, here we go with that Fed shit. If you have spiritual eyes, you can see this motherfucker has been deployed going back years, and they deployed his ass right on down to the camp.
That was a little bit weird. There's this clip, of course, Tucker talking about, spending his summers in Nicaragua to help with the war, fighting against,
This is a smoking gun on how long this motherfucker been working with the damn Feds, even when they fired him. Oh, he fired him, now he's broke. And he's walking down Manhattan, ran into the prophets, and they told him exactly what was going on. Nobody knows except for the men of the Lord.
Fighting on the side of the CIA.
And so the summer after my freshman year, my roommate and I decided to go down to Nicaragua for the summer and work and, get involved in the war, and support the side that we thought was right, which is not the Sandinista side. And
people know that you were actually a freedom fighter who traveled down to Central America to fight the Contras. Will you fill them in on that story?
No. We spent the summer in Nicaragua.
Yeah, John Kerry and George Bush, you guys are the Skull and Bones. You tell me about that? No. Got to be there. It's an inside joke unless you are old enough to understand. You guys are, who was that? Big Russ. Whatever Russ. They killed Russ right after that. You guys are the Skull and Bones, right? No. They killed Russ.
We thought was right, was not the Sandinista side. And
People know that you were actually a freedom fighter who traveled down to Central America to fight with the Contras. Will you fill them in on that story?
no.
We spent the summer in Nicaragua trying to get a sense of the war there, and all kinds of hilarity ensued. But
Yeah, no, some people are saying, oh, yeah. I do believe, though.
Stop. I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna do it for me, so bear with me. Let's see. Watch this. Tim Russer, John Kerry, Slovakia, George Bush, skull, and bones. This is the same situation. We didn't have a video, but we had audio, and it's the same situation if it's still up here. Let's see. This is what happened.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society. It's so secret we can't talk about it. What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild. Sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the rest. Number 322. First of all, he's not the nominee, and look, I look for. Are you prepared to lose? No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it. And we'll be watching. Be safe on the campaign trail. John Kerry, thanks for joining us. And we'll be right.
So that's a motherfucker getting outed, and they killed this dude for doing what he did right there. See, they killed him.
You were both in Skull.
Let me see. What does it say? Both of them are on. Let's see. Tim, R.I.P., did something quite amazing here. If you would have told someone that these secret groups existed, they would rubbish it. I've been researching these groups. See, he was outing them, right? This interviewer actually died a little while after asking them questions about Skull and Bones' true story. This is 10 years ago. You understand? So you have to understand the patterns that you're seeing. Now that we've watched that, let me back this up a little bit. Now let's.
Was not the Sandinista side. And
People know that you were actually a freedom fighter who traveled down to Central America to fight with the Contras. Will you fill them in on that story?
no.
we spent the summer in Nicaragua trying to get a sense of the war there, and all kinds of hilarity ensued. But
yeah, no. So
that's the same thing that John Kerry did. After they said, no, I'm not going to, then they went further to fluff and create a little story around to act as though they answered the question, and he did. That's the way they're trained to respond. Name, rank, and serial number, motherfucker. When somebody's asking you a question, you respond with your name, rank, and serial number, or whatever it was that you were taught to respond with. That's what you
Oh, yeah. I do believe, though, Tucker Carlson is a changed person. This is my time.
He's saying that because he is a Fed. He's an asset. All right? And I was told personally that on my comment board by the elder apostle Tahar. He said, yep, Luke is flipped too. And I'm like, yep. And so what does that mean? That means that's a message through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that this dude is a Fed. So whatever he's saying right now, he's covering for his boy Tucker. Listen.
Aspect to this, I think it'll be helpful to understand. Trust but verify. Everything. Don't ever put any man above yourself. Right? But judge a man.
I did trust and verify. I went to the source. The elder apostle Tahar, who is number one. The Most High is dealing directly with him. So when he says that this guy is a Fed, that's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Dude, what did you just say? Don't trust what? What did you say?
I do believe though. Tucker Carlson is a changed person. This is my kind of aspect to this, and I think it'll be helpful to understand. Trust but verify everything.
I think we just did with this long ass lesson.
Never put any man above yourself, right? But judge a man by the fruits of his labor. Now, Tucker Carlson.
Fruits of his labor. That nigga came down to the camp asking questions, and then went back and compiled what he thought. Right? Took it back to who? Who did he take it back to?
In the past, big pro-war guy, big pro-Iraq war guy, big pro-neocon establishment. How dare you question 9/11? That's the past. Now, I think he's one of the most important media figures of our time.
The Elder Apostle Tahar. I did a video that I used Luke as a reference. And as I did, I pointed out that he's a weirdo who used to work with Alex Jones, first of all, which makes him very suspect, right? So when I did that, the Elder Apostle came on the, here's what he said. Luke is, I forget what he used, what word he used, but basically a fan, all right? And that was through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai without question. You understand? So I have that testimony to add. I'm going to let the dude talk a little bit.
The interviews, the insight, the conversations that he's willing to have here are brilliant, amazing, and extremely important.
And what about the
Do you
ones...
think he's a Fed? No. I'll be just quite honest with you.
What about the ones that he's not willing to have, like when he went down to the camp? He's not willing to have that conversation, I bet. You understand? Ask him, well, what happened when it's like, no, motherfucker, you understood when you shook hands with the Elder Apostle. Not once did he call you an Edomite. He said that if you're an Edomite, you're in trouble. Not once did he call. So you understood when you shook hands. Otherwise, you would have been offended. Okay, so that was that. It was a strange thing about that encounter because Tucker Carlson is not no dummy. And the Elder Apostle was very measured. If you go back and you watch that whole transaction, he was very measured in what came out of his mouth, letting you know that that was the Spirit dealing with Tucker Carlson, right? And if you see the devil, let's go back here, and then I'm going to close. The devil sent, right, Absalom. The devil sent his representative. Right here, 2 Samuel 15 and 10. Absalom here represents whoever the higher ups are, right? So somebody sent Tucker, right? And then after Tucker went down and got his message out, gathered his information, what did he do with it? He took it back to whoever sent him, right? And they assessed the information that Tucker gave him, and Tucker knows what came of that information. Because way back when that happened to Tucker in like 2012, 2013 or whatever, they've had a lot of time to assess that information. Okay? And we understand that. Anyway, the point being made here is that Tucker is a spook being revealed. So let's get that. Brought to light. BROUG2. Is that? Yeah. And made known to all. Here's what's happening with Tucker. Because that encounter with GMS goes back to at least like 2012-ish. I remember when it happened. So, Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be made known and come abroad. Let's get it in there. revealed. God's word translation. There's nothing hidden, right? Tucker had a hidden reason to come up there acting like he was down on his luck because he got fired from CNN or whatever. That nigga was gathering information, took it straight back, right? And they're watching. They've been watching us, right? So, do you have proof that the CIA is watching? Yep. Go back to that Tucker Carlson clip. Yeah, we got proof that the CIA is watching us. Okay? So, look, there is nothing hid that will not be revealed. Well, Tucker's being revealed right now. There is nothing kept secret that will not come to light. It's being made manifest right now. All right, now let me get this. How shall his kingdom? Okay, because they got Fuentes, one spook coming against a rival spook, right? Luke 11 and 18, Salakia for drilling on. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. So we're dealing with, these guys are at each other's throat. This guy's a spook too. Everybody's getting paid. Hey, Alazar's getting paid. This guy, Deacon or whatever. Who's that? General Johanna's getting paid. Nate is getting paid. They're all on a salary from the man, being told what to preach and what not to preach. And they're spies and they're agents too. And these are the agents on the left-hand side. Well, Nate is on the left-hand side too, but I'm talking about Nate and Johanna have infiltrated, right, or have been flipped, if you will, right, within the camp. And you have to know who is a Fed that is within the camp. You understand? Now, outside of the camp, that's easy. Let's go here. I'm going to end right here. It's a lot. And it's simple. First, you got to know. All right, let's go to 10. It's 12, Salakia. 12 and 10. Never, C.I.A. 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Sorry, Luke. You're out of it. With that, we hope that the elect are edified. Look, Tucker is definitely a Fed, and I'm sure that Nick is too. Everybody's getting paid, right? Everybody. Hell, an informant, a motherfucker that trying to get a bottle of wine, who said, yeah, he went that way, is an informant. He's a Fed. All right, so with that, shalom.